Hey everybody. Wow. Some of you were here pretty early. 8:40, 8:41, 8:54. Man, I'm sorry you were here waiting for so long, but hello, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad that we could, share this moment in our lives together. Let me get some music going here. Let me find us some music. I guess we'll just do the usual. Nah, let's not do the usual. I don't have the Katana Z. I don't own the Katana Zero soundtrack, so I'm just gonna pull it up on YouTube here, and we'll just rock this. You won't be able to hear it yet, but we'll fix that in just a second. So share screen. There we go. Now I can make that go away. Oh yeah! We are the masters of technology, or something like that. I don't know. Sometimes I think technology masters us. Let me turn my camera on. I hope you all are doing great. I just got done watching All Elite Wrestling. It was a good time. It was a good show. There we go. A little red hot camera action. That book is not part of today. That book is, in fact, I think the last thing I recorded a review of. I'm doing pretty good, Red Avenger. Thanks for popping in. You know, it's been a busy day. A busy work week. A busy couple of work weeks. I think I complained about this like every time I'm streaming. I also got a package here, but it is a birthday present for somebody, so I'm not going to open it up on stream just on the off chance that they show up here. But I am going to go ahead and open it, that way I can properly hide it. I was on the Sears loaner in pairs, and wow. Yeah, I mean, that's log. Oh, what the heck? I'll just show what this birthday present is here. It's like $10 on Amazon, and it's like perfect. It was like on sale, half off. Like, how could I possibly resist? I couldn't resist. That's how I could resist. All right, it is now stashed away and will never be seen until the appropriate time. I got to get wrapping paper. I ran out of my novelty math nerd wrapping paper, so I got to get me some actual like wrapping paper at some point. Heck yeah, those movies are so good. I know. And the whole trilogy, like, it was on Amazon. I was there. I was getting some other stuff, and it was just like, hey man, people that like obscure Japanese movies also like this. So this is what I was actually there buying. And then down at the bottom was like, recommended for viewers like you, or something like that. You know how Amazon is. So had to pick it up. It was so cheap, I couldn't resist. Mr. XLG, welcome to the party. I'm glad you're here, buddy. I'm glad all of you are here. Chapter 4 comes out next year. I know. I am like hype. I thought I'd be burned out. I thought I would be over it after 3. And then I saw the trailer and I was like, you know what? You know what? I'm here for it. I'm 100% here for it. Absolutely here for it. Anyway, it's new comic book day. We got new comic books. These are actually old comic books. But I got a funny story that we're going to tell. So I'm just going to let the music play for, another minute or something. So please enjoy the tunes. I'm going to like take a drink and prepare myself to dive into this. Yeah. So you can just look at Big Daddy Danger #1, laying the smackdown on evil. How ridiculous is that? I love it. I suddenly got stupidly paranoid. I did turn the audio on. Okay, never mind. Sorry. All right. This is, in case you missed it when I was starting up, the Katana Zero soundtrack. This is actually Katana Zero workout mix from Workout Geek. But the music comes from the game comes from Katana Zero, which I own. I own the game, so I should totally play that. What's the cinema setup? Do you mean, do I own a TV? I own a TV. I totally own a TV XLG. Man, the ice in my frozen soda has still not melted all the way. This is ridiculous. Alright. Anyway, I mean, I have a Blu-ray player. I mean, I've had a Blu-ray player since I've owned a PS3. If you don't remember, that was like one of the main selling points of the PS3 when it came out. Like, for the price of the PS3, you got a Blu-ray player, which was cheaper than actually buying a standalone Blu-ray player. Like, isn't that ludicrous? I think that's totally nuts. But that's how Sony was rolling back in, what was that, 2004, 2005, something like that? Man, PS3 was dope, by the way. That was a dope console. PS2 was dope. PS1 was dope. But I think PS3 was kind of like the inflection point of like where the awesome, like it started coming to an end, because PS4, I don't feel as nearly as revolutionary as PS3 was. And PS5, you can't buy them for starters, but there's like nothing there that feels like a killer app. DVD players are a thing of the past. Hey, I have a DVD player, a couple of them, plus the Blu-ray player. So, you know, I'm living that dream, baby. I'm living that dream. Whatever the dream is, the old technology dream, it is mine. And nobody can take that away from me. Which is probably why I'm sitting here and we're all looking at the cover of a comic book about a luchador. Speaking of which, let's just crack this open. I flipped through it in the store. So here's the story. I walked in, I'm like, looking at my man, Sean, and waiting on him to hand me my books. Or, you know, well, we'll see. And he's like, I took the liberty of picking out a free book for you. Okay, hold on. We're derailing everything. Because Ninja Weasel just that's my life. That is my life. Right there. I feel targeted. I feel like you have targeted me. That you are somehow mocking me and what I went through with my PS3 with your statement about PS3s. Like, I don't know why you would do this to me, Ninja Weasel. I don't know. Bro. That's exactly what happened to me. I moved, and when I set up my PS3, it was dead. I think I still have that thing in a box somewhere, the dead one. But I got like the newer crappy model too. So I am unfortunately living that life as well. Alright, it's nighttime for you. Hey, well, thanks for hanging out with us. I appreciate it. Anyway, back to the story. So there I am in my shop, and he's handing me my stuff, and he's like, I took the liberty of picking out 2 books for your free stuff. First time that's happened. And these 2 were it. Big Daddy Danger 1 and 2. And I don't know anything about these, but I flipped this open. I flipped it open, and I was just kind of like, you know what? I like it. I mean, look at this. Look how stupid this is. Everything about it is completely and totally ridiculous. And while I haven't read the book yet, like, there is so much here that I enjoy. Like, look at this. He's taken off his mask, and there's another mask underneath. Who's behind the wheel of the righteous mobile? Big Daddy Danger. Darn right he is. This is just... everything about this was completely and totally just ridiculous. Like, Yes! Yeah, that's, let me highlight that. And I'd never heard of it before. It's from 2002. Like, I'd never heard of this. I'd never seen this. I know nothing about this until the moment it was put in my hands. Dude, we're fighting on an airplane now. How did we end up on an airplane? Why are we fighting on an airplane? Nobody knows. She's just parachuting away. Like, I don't even know, dude. Next, Big Daddy Danger number 2, Family Feud. Hey, look, they've really sold Tang and Capri Sun packs? Did you know that? I didn't know that. Ritz Bits sandwiches, they even make those anymore? In the big box? I think you get them in like a little pouch. Dude, this book is so dated by its advertisement. Look at this crazy Pop-Tart ad that looks like it's a leftover from the 90s. I mean, it could very well be a leftover from the 90s. Oh, tobacco is wacko. Smoke weed for greed. I have so much fun looking at some of this stuff. Stuart Little 2. The PlayStation game. Not even a PlayStation 2 game, huh? No, the graphics look like it might be a PS2 game. I don't know. That's crazy. Then we got issue 2 here. Big Daddy Danger and Son. Say uncle. Oh, does that mean his uncle's gonna come up and beat him up? That'd be kind of cool. We open it up to more wrestling. You know, this is funny because I was just watching wrestling. Like, I was just watching Tomohiro Ishii and Chris Jericho go at it, hammer and tongs. And it was amazing. I don't think I ever told my shop man I liked wrestling. So I'm not quite sure why he picked this out as something he thought I'd like. But he did. I don't know what that says about him, what that says about me, and what that says about our relationship, but that is the world I'm in. Right there. This looks awesome, dude. It's like Don King meets Colonel Sanders right there. Look at this dude. ABC Kids. Oh, man. Kim Possible. I've heard of that show. Yeah, I've heard of Kim Possible. Bruh. This little kid's about to get squashed by Fat Albert and his gang or something. Look at this. This don't look good for the kid. Our hero's like scaling a building with his lucha powers. Wanna rumble with El Jefe? Well, Nino, get ready to crumble. Here's one for the fans, and this one's for a good cause. That's it, Danny boy. Unleash your fury on big old double stuff. Oh, man. Oh, that's our hero's brother is like corrupting our hero's son. Is that what's going on here? Tony's word scramble. Wow, Tony's original. Do they even still make Tony's Pizza? Kim Possible's ending is being cosplayed ever. Yeah, so is Kim Possible, actually. And if Twitter's any indication, people really want them to have a romantic relationship. Pac-Man Fever. I can't actually remember like the Pac-Man song. Hey, this is pretty good. The panel structure cutting back and forth. Really making use of that horizontal space with these great action shots. This is pretty well constructed. Oh! Symmetry! Symmetry! It's too much. Happy birthday. Whose birthday? Wait, what? I missed something. But we got an XLG And a 6-7 Cyrus. Aren't you doing Star Wednesday? Where's your Star Wednesday? Man, I'm telling you, this dude looks like if Colonel Sanders was actually Don King. Like, that's what that guy makes me think of. And I'm sick and tired of always hiding behind a dark mask. Sick of the responsibilities. Sick of the secrets. Now look at me. Superhero, super spy, nowhere near super dad to my only son. Oh man, life is rough. Look at that, more Ritz Bits ads. They're really pushing those Ritz Bits on people. Oh no. Peanut butter crackers have fudge right where they want it. Hey, you know, that'd actually be pretty good. Chocolate, peanut butter, and then like a salty cracker? That's not a bad idea. Oh no. The all-new Scoop-tacular Saturday premiere, September 14. Be sure to watch it. Also, The Adventures of Young Jackie Chan or whatever. Plus, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, X-Men Evolution, whatever those shows are. Man, Kids WB was hopping, bro. Hopping. Thought your birthday? No. It's not my birthday. It's somebody else's birthday, XLG. I bought them a present. I didn't buy myself a present. Osmosis, wasn't that a TV show? Or, I'm sorry, wasn't that a movie? I thought that was a movie, not a TV show. Okay, well, there we go. Apparently it was both. Third book I got out of the free stack. Generation Next, and there were several of these. Hopefully next week I can go back and get some more. But Generation Next number 3. Age of Apocalypse book. I'm not sure what book this replaced in the X-Men lineup. Like, Excalibur was pretty obvious because it just replaced Excalibur. And I'm going to be honest, I think I missed more Age of Apocalypse than I read by a long shot. Because nothing about this looks familiar to me. Dude, how you turn a bunch of nerds into superheroes? You turned the box around, bro! Oh, your pack of nerds is actually a card? Get free X-Men Danger Room cards on the backs of specially marked boxes of Nerds candy. Bro! You think they still sell this stuff? Dude, this is how you know comic books was a real industry at one point. You'd had advertising for stores selling comic books in comic books. The box around. Talking about attrition, yeah. What about nutrition? Oh, I know this guy's name! Oh, yeah. Apparently it's Sugar Man. I was going to be like, I know this guy from the Age of Apocalypse. And, of course, it's an Age of Apocalypse book. So, of course, it has an Age of Apocalypse character in it. But I don't actually remember anything about this dude. Oh, what a design. I don't think I actually like the art in this book that much. This doesn't feel like it's an X-Men book. This feels like a... It's got some Sam Keith to it. Let me put it that way. Actually, who did the art? Because it'd be really funny if I just called it. Oh, here we go. Scott Lobdell, Danglano. Yeah, okay. So, no. It doesn't, but that still would have been funny. That's just such a weird thing to look at. Look at this left panel. What? Is sure your favorite X-Men rogue is Sinister? We have a large nose, 6. We have a very large nose. That's what's going on. No, my favorite X-Men rogue is not Mr. Sinister, although he was well represented in the cartoon. But if you're going to be like, which X-Men villain do you like the most? I'm going to go with the cartoon Apocalypse from his first appearance. Because he Nailed it, dude. He's in there talking about how he's going to cleanse the world with fire and blood. And I'm 100% there. I'm with him. I'm like, yeah, let's do it, Apocalypse. Let's go. Let's cleanse this world with fire and blood. Like, I'm on board. Then there was also in the cartoon representation, I really dug who was the guy whose power was he made other mutants stronger? Fabian Cortez? Is that his name? Let's look this up. Fabian Cortez, mutant born with wealth and privilege, came board. Cortez joining the upstarts. So this is the Marvel cartoon created by Chris Claremont, Jim Lee, and X-Men #1. Fabian Cortez first appears in the two-part... Oh, hold on. We can show this. Booyah! Fabian Cortez first appeared in the two-part episode Sanctuary. He's the leader of the Acolytes, uses powers to bolster Magneto's abilities. Yeah, it's this dude. He had like he chewed the scenery even though he's a cartoon. He was a lot of fun. Is there a picture of him up here? No, of course not. Yeah, he didn't look like that in the cartoon. That dude looks like a loser. This guy looks like a loser. I want to see the real Cortez. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. This guy. I really enjoyed him in the cartoon. He's no Apocalypse, but his dialogue was really good in the cartoon. But I guess if you also want to like keep going, like what villain do I like to see in the comic books fighting the X-Men? And I can't name Apocalypse because I really enjoy watching Apocalypse do his thing every time he does his thing. You're gonna just look at me and you're gonna go, oh duh, of course. It's Sabretooth, dude. Him and Wolverine have some all-time great throwdowns. Like, what do you want from me here, bro? Like, that rivalry between those two characters. You could have a Wolverine comic that was nothing but him and Sabretooth going at it non-stop. And it would be great. Like, just 12 issues a year, the two of them murdering each other. No, I don't use Google search. Why would I use Google search? Oh my gosh, Omega Red. Okay. Hold on. I think we can all agree the X-Men have an absolutely fantastic rogues gallery. If you want to use like Batman language on them. Like, there are so many good X-Men villains that it's really hard to just nail one down. You know? Just like if Chris Claremont had written these guys, they would probably be like top rank X-Men villains as well. But these guys were in a bad movie, and that's it. Like, they're not X-Men villains. But if they were, and Chris Claremont had written them, it'd be classic. Yeah, dude, Chris Claremont had his, like, what, 12, 15-year run or something? And there's so much good stuff in there. Because, I don't even know where to start. Like, there's just so much good stuff. So many iconic stories, which they're still ripping off today by making movies that are worse than the comic books. You can get into, like, their human enemies, like Trask and stuff. And those guys are so Machiavellian-y evil that it's fantastic. The Age of Apocalypse universe had its own crazy villains, like Dark Beast, who I think Dark Beast is still alive because he escaped into the Age of Apocalypse universe. We're going to flip this over so we stop looking at Big Nose Guy. All right, I'm tired of looking at Big Nose Guy. Hold on, let's just look at the Lucha cover. Where's the Lucha? Put the Lucha up here. There we go. All right, we're all safe. We got the Lucha on the cover. One thing I'm going to kind of say I don't like about Claremont's X-Men, or even modern X-Men, really, is so many of their villains are now part of the X-Men. Like, it's a little ridiculous. Like, you're telling me that Magneto's going to put aside his genocide long enough to be the leader of the X-Men just because Charles Xavier's out? Like, come on, bro. And nowadays, like, all the X-Men villains just hang out with the X-Men on an island where they hate people. They just turned into genocidal racists. And I just got demonetized and deboosted, and I'm about to be banned off of YouTube for saying that, but it's true. Like XLG, Mr. Sinister's not a bad guy anymore. Mr. Sinister's an X-Men. Sabretooth, X-Man. Magneto, X-Man. Mystique, X-Man. Apocalypse, X-Man. Like, it doesn't make any sense, but that's the universe we're in, because apparently Moira McTaggart was actually a mutant all along who lived multiple lifetimes in the same lifetime. And because of that, she was able to somehow something, and then Charles Xavier isn't in a wheelchair anymore, and he wears a stupid helmet all the time, and the mutants live on Krakoa, which is another X-Men villain. Yes, it's kind of stupid. Oh, and Psylocke, I think, is Captain Britain now, so she doesn't use psychic swords anymore. Like, I'm pretty sure this is true. She doesn't use psychic swords anymore. She carries Excalibur around. That was the problem. They rebooted it. So, okay. So here... oh, is it time to draw? Is it time to bust out a notepad and scrabble? All right. Okay, so there's this event called... Wait, no, that's not the name of the event. Oh my gosh, I've started blanking it out. I'm almost free. Nope, never mind. I did remember the name of the book. Gosh darn it. All right. So there was this really great run on cable, which ran through mid 2018. Okay, and it was really good because it had stuff like Cable, and Nate Gray, aka X-Man, who's an alternate universe Cable. He's the Age of Apocalypse Cable. They all got together on a space station at the end of time. Pretend that's a space station. And then this Cable, was being hunted by the techno-organic virus, Monster. Okay? It was hunting him through time and space. And so Cable got together with a couple other Cables and went to this space station. He also called in his brother from the same mother in another universe and was like, hey, let's go to the space station. Hey, Ethereal Dragon, we're just explaining the end of the Cable comic book from 2018. So they go to the space station, and then they recreate the Thing. All right, so this happens, then Cable, but not Nate Gray or the other two Cables, because the other two Cables, one of them was the Monster and the other one died. But Cable plus, is it Rachel? Cable plus his daughter, whose name I'm forgetting, went to the woods And there they fought the monster. And this was all like real heartwarming stuff because Cable actually acted like a parent for once in his freakish, time-hopping, nonsensical life. No, if the Cables touch each other, they just have like bro hugs, dude. It's okay. It's okay. There's no electrocution here. So anyway, they fought the techno-organic monster. They killed it. Cable and her, they bonded. It was like plus, you know, woo, high-grade stuff. It was good. There was character development. Cable had changed. Cable was a better person at the end of all this stuff. And keep in mind, this story arc started off with Cable crashing an airplane. Pretend that's an airplane. Took the airplane, crashed it into an external. I think it was Gideon. To kill Gideon because Gideon was trying to kill all the other externals to steal their mutant powers because externals are immortal unless you kill them the right way. So Gideon crashed the Blackbird, you know, cool, sleek plane, into Gideon, killing Gideon temporarily so the other externals could deal with Gideon. It was a great run on a book. I think I got reviews of some of this stuff up. So all this stuff happened, and we got to this place where the X-Men were doing something kind of interesting. And then we got an event. And we'll make the X big because it's X-Men. Okay, so extermination happened. Now at this point in the X-Men history, you had the young X-Men. So this would be Scott, Jean, Beast, what's his name, Iceman, and Angel. As teenagers, the X-Men from the 60s, plus the old ones, and their entire other roster of 5 mutants hanging out. I don't remember why they got time traveled here, and I think Jean was dead up until some point in this storyline, and then Jean came back. Don't make me explain externals, XLG. We'll be here all night. Don't make me explain this one. You can't handle it. They're like extra immortal mutants. They're kind of like Apocalypse, but Apocalypse isn't an external. Anyway, we had this plotline called Extermination. And so at this point, we had the young X-Men hanging out with all the other X-Men in modern day. So this is in 2017, 2018. So these people who shouldn't be here, time traveled, and that's where we're at. Because we can't make it easy. So in Extermination, what happened is we have Cable kills Cable. Which, that leads up to Ahab showing up from the future. But Ahab doesn't show up until he's got these 2 blue kids whose names I'm forgetting because it ultimately doesn't matter. And they are psychic. Okay? But they're psychic so good that the 512 psychic X-Men don't detect them psychically turning all the X-Men into Ahab's hounds. So, what happens is, Cable kills Cable, Ahab then proceeds to kill all the other X-Men, except that he doesn't. But Cable also kidnaps the young X-Men. So they get in a time capsule and they go back to 1965. Is this all making sense so far? Angel has the most powerful superpower. He's rich. Angel is rich. That is his real superpower. Alright, so this happens. So now we've got hounds. So we have X-Men killing X-Men, X-Men fighting X-Men, and I think eventually it results in them fighting underwater where Nightcrawler's teleporting X-Men to like 2 miles below the ocean to render them unconscious so they stop being hounds. Alright, now you're thinking, Elizabeth, what does this have to do with Professor Xavier walking instead of being in a chair? Here, there's a crappy wheelchair for you. Well, what it has to do with is extermination was the event that set this up. So you put a big silly helmet on Xavier, so his head's even bigger because that's what he needed in life. Oh, and you put an X across it because he's mysterious. And he's not walking it, or he's not bound to a wheelchair. Well, this is because Moira McTaggart, whose name I'm going to misspell probably, but you know her. She's got long hair, and it's red. Well, it turns out that Moira was actually a mutant. Despite spending her whole life in the comic books doing nothing but researching mutants and decidedly not being a mutant, yeah, I really need the red string. But despite not being a mutant, she was. But her power isn't that she actually has powers. Her power is Moira keeps living over and over. She's living Groundhog's Day. She has like a dozen lives or something. And each time she lives her life, she gains more knowledge. And so eventually we get to the House of X and Powers of X. And in this, Charles Xavier, who's Mr. Big Head with an X, see, he's got a big head, he's got an X, goes, boy, I hate humans. And then he says, mutants can't live with humans. Magneto was right. And that is how we get to Krakoa and all the other stupid stuff in the X-Men right there. And if you're thinking to yourself, boy, that doesn't sound like Charles Xavier at all, guess what? You're 100% right. I'm also about to lose my voice. Oh man, good hydration. So from here, he gets all the mutants together, and they go live on Krakoa, which is another mutant. And they hang out in the ocean on an island, and nobody can show up there except for mutants. But only if you're a mutant that still has powers. If you're like Franklin Richards and you lose your powers, you get kicked out. So, you know, even if you're, you know, they wouldn't even let Spider-Man live there because Spider-Man's not a mutant. Spider-Man's a mutate. They wouldn't let all those creatures that Sauron made in the Savage Land, which probably don't exist anymore. And, you know, they're horrifying mutants, but they're not real mutants, they're mutates. So all the things that Mr. Sinister grew in lab bats and stuff, they don't get to live in Krakoa. No, sir. Only mutants do, which is probably okay because, like, when Proteus wakes up and he turns the entire island into lava because he's having a nightmare that's while he's awake, like, all the mutants are going to melt except for, like, Colossus and that one guy who's completely invulnerable. And that's that. Except it's the canonical universe. That's the problem. If this is a weird alternate universe take, like Earth X or something, nobody would care. Dude! Wait. That's not what I clicked on. That's what I clicked on. Yeah, I don't know if he did it in the comic books. He probably did. But he sure did it in the 1992 cartoon series, man. When the X-Men went to the Savage Land, chasing Xavier and Magneto, Sauron ruled the place, and he had all kinds of horrifying, like, mind-controlled mutates and stuff. It was awesome. Great cartoon show. If you want to watch some good television, you should watch the X-Men cartoon from the 90s. It's fantastic stuff. It deals with really heavy issues in ways that are fair and not preachy. It's fantastic material. The 80s run, Chris Claremont's X-Men run, is the same way because that's what the cartoon was based on. I mean, essentially, yeah. It's a really weird thing, XLG, and it's completely unlike what the X-Men were ever like before. All right, that's enough scribbling in my notes. The Cable, like, Kid Cable kills Cable because Cable's not Cable enough. Like, that just sums up so much about the X-Men right there. All right, I think that's all the pages. Let me rip these off my notepad. They are going into the trash. All right, I got one book I did pay for. This was all free stuff. And we're 40 minutes in, and I ain't even got to the book I actually paid for. Yeah. I know, it's a complete break from the X-Men. But I got to keep moving, man. We got to keep going forward. Because if we don't keep going forward, we're going to end up going backwards. And frankly, I don't want to talk about the X-Men anymore. I'm done. The XLG 81 men are history. Oh, man. I'm now out of beverage. Okay, I'll get to that Discord message later. Anyway, this book has been wonderful. This is not a Lovecraft story I actually knew off the top of my head. I'm not sure I ever read it. And I've had a ton of fun. The art suits the mood really well. You know, it's a scary book, or kind of a, maybe not necessarily scary, but is definitely like supposed to be unsettling. And the artwork produces a lot of unsettling imagery. It looks here like our hero is busy hanging out with a bunch of ghouls. That is not the place you want to be if you're still alive, because ghouls are probably going to eat you. He is questing his way across the Dreamlands, which if you don't know what that is. Yeah, Discord was my... No, sorry. I'm streaming through StreamYard. And StreamYard doesn't mute Discord like OBS does. So if somebody dings me on Discord, sorry, you end up hearing it. Usually people don't ding me on Discord, though. So yeah, our hero here, Arthur? No, Carter. Carter. Our homeboy here, Carter, is questing his way through the Dreamlands to get to Kadath, where the gods hang out. And so in Lovecraft, the Dreamlands are where you go when you dream. And there's things that are native to the Dreamlands. There's lots of scary stuff out there, like the Plateau of Ling, where I think like the spider monsters live. There's like the fishmen pirates, and just all kinds of nasty stuff. Which I'm not huge on the Dreamlands. That's a part of Lovecraft mythology I don't know a lot about. Although I did once run a feng shui campaign with Ninja Weasel, set in the Dreamlands during World War II, and that was a good time. Feng Shui is a weird kind of RPG, but it's dope because it goes fast. Bruh. So Carter has, at this point, been kidnapped, almost sacrificed, climbed up a mountain, and he was getting kidnapped by the flying things. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. From this page. He was getting kidnapped by them and drawn into their holes. But one thing that's really cool, and this is something you may not know because you probably don't know the comic, but the book always starts with a comic that's in the style of an old 20s comic called Little Nemo. And it's a really beautifully drawn comic strip by Walter McCrae. Got that right. He was also an animator. Winsor McCay. Okay, I was wrong. Winsor McCay. Anyway, this mimics his style really well. And his whole book, Little Nemo and Slumberland, was pretty famous stuff. Hold on. Let me... boom. And you can kind of like see. Like, you can definitely see the inspiration between what's going on here, the white jammies, and all that stuff, with what's going on in this panel, which is apparently the last panel of that series, that book. So I really enjoy the reference right here. I think it's charming and very on the nose, because this is how he gets started. He's dream questing. So when you're mimicking, and it looks like 1906. I thought it was 1920s, but 1920s might be when he made the animations. But that dude, Winsor McKay, he was one of the early animators. He pioneered a lot of stuff that later people would do in the animation industry. So this is just like a wonderful little tribute to him. And then we go from here, where there is plenty of crazy looking stuff going on, because your dream questing is not always necessarily happy, to here's some other really horrifying stuff going on, like getting picked off of a mountain and carried us into the caves, and all you have is a cat that volunteered to come with you because you were nice to it. Cats in the dreamland are like regular cats, except far more vicious and intelligent, which means they're just like regular cats. And he wants to get to Kadath so he can like ask the gods a question. That's like the goal. So the book, for the most part, is the comic material. But one thing I thought was pretty cool, at the end of the book, they have an excerpt of the original story that covers the material that's in the book. And I thought that was all pretty cool. So you can read the comic, and then you can read the original story that the comic is based on from Lovecraft. This comic has been masterful. It has been absolutely fantastic. I doubt you can probably buy back issues of it, but maybe if you go to Blaze's website, you still can. But I definitely recommend checking it out. Speaking of things I recommend checking out this guy right here and his comic book, El Crudo. It's about an orangutan in Vietnam, and it is the book that keeps giving. Every issue is crazier and better than the previous one. I don't know how Mr. Manny Shape is doing it, but he's absolutely doing it. He's definitely killing it, and you know, I wouldn't say we're like close friends or anything, but I definitely like the guy. He's been nothing but nice to me. Wow, I have lost my voice. I can't talk. I'm gonna have to go drink some hot tea or something, man. I've lost it. Hold on, I'm just gonna mute and cough a bunch. I'm sorry. Oh, man. Oh. All that talking about the X-Men, it got me all lathered up, man. It got me all lathered up. Oh, I'm definitely going to enjoy my pull. I got some great stuff here. Oh, something got held up for moderation. Thank you so much, Ninja Weasel. I don't think that StreamYard lets me see moderated comments, so I appreciate you releasing that. I think I'm going to bounce, guys, because this is actually really difficult, because it's making my throat hurt a little bit. I think I've like ran out of like juice. I will be streaming on Twitch later. I just need like a 15-minute break so I can have something warm to drink to kind of like loosen this stuff up, XLG. So you don't need to worry too much about it. You know, this isn't entirely applicable, but it's close enough. I love this terrible movie. I absolutely love this stupid movie. It's one of the worst movies ever made, and it is amazing. It is so good. The kind of worse that Freaked is indescribable unless you just watch it. Rastafari, I know. Oh, I, man. Anyway, you all take care of yourselves. Thank you so much for choosing to spend part of your precious Wednesday night with me. I appreciate it. I thank you so much. El Crudo, Manny Shape, XLG, Ninja Weasel, Red Avenger, 6F Cyrus. I'm probably forgetting somebody, and if I am, I apologize so much. I'm going to bounce, get something warm, and then hopefully I will see you on Twitch. Not on Sunday, but in like 15 or 20 minutes after I get me a drink. I think I'm going to make a carafe full of tea and have that. Like some green... No, maybe green tea's not a good choice. I got some kind of tea. I'm going to drink it. You all take care of yourselves, and I'm just going to shut up. I'm going to shut up. Bye-bye.